Greetings, Star Citizen. Are you a new player and you have no idea what to do? Are you someone who wants to make some money so you can buy some new ships, but you have no clue where to start? Are you f***ing poor? Well, then I've got the video for you. If you are a brand new player, you start with 1,000 credits, and that is where this video starts. So this video is for you, somebody who hasn't played yet or just barely has touched the game and wants to know where to get started. Now, if you are someone who's played for a bit but are struggling to make a little bit of money, then you can still follow along, and these tips will still help you quite a bit if you don't have other better options out there. Now, this isn't the best option for making money. However, it is an easy way to get started, to get yourself a little bit of wiggle room in your bank account. Other things like cargo and bunker missions obviously will net a little bit higher sometimes, and even better mining later on. But this starts off right away, requires no rep, very little knowledge of the game, and you can do it right away. Within an hour, you can get going and start mining Hadanite on Aberdeen. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to get there and how to do this, all right? Now, I want to add this little caveat to this video. If you've been playing for quite a bit, you know where things are and you know how to do things, but you're still struggling to make a little bit of money, I'm going to just give you a rundown of what we do in this video so you don't have to watch the whole thing just to figure out what to do. So the first thing we do is we got 1,000 credits. We go, we buy a pistol, we buy 2 mags, and then we head over to the space station. We take off. We're going to look for an urgent boarding action mission. It makes us about 45 to 50k. We're aiming to make 50k, so get 50k however you want or however you need to, whether that's a boarding mission or any other mission that you can do. After that, you're going to go to Everus Harbor and you're going to rent a Cutlass Black for about 27,700 credits. From there, you're going to fly the Cutlass Black to HRU L1, or as I like to call it, HRU L1, go down to the refinery after you store your Cutlass Black, rent a rock, an ROC mining, it's a mining vehicle for 4,300 for 1 day. Also, in that same store, buy a Pembroke suit to protect you from the atmosphere and the dangerous weather that is on Aberdeen. After that, go up to the Galleria, buy yourself a heavy armor helmet. This is going to help protect you from the weather that's there, and it's also not going to block your vision like a Pembroke helmet will. After that, go back to the iPad, spawn in your Cutlass Black after you equip that stuff, and then we're going to head over to Aberdeen. Once you get there, you're going to look for HDMS Nargaard, go land there, spawn in your vehicle, your ROC mining vehicle, park it in the back of your Cutlass Black, and then you're going to look around by hitting tab and scanning, looking for things that pop up that are under 3,000 meters. Now, if it pops up and it shows you a big rock symbol, do not mine it. It's too big. You're looking around for smaller rocks. Once you find a group of smaller rocks, it's usually 2 to 3 to 4 and sometimes up to 10 small rocks together. You're going to hit D, ease in as close as you can with your ship, and scan those. If it says Hadanite on the right side, that's what we're looking for. You can go ahead, land, get out, and mine it. Once you've filled up the rock quite a bit, or to a point where you're comfortable, you can actually go right back to HDMS Nargaard, go into the orange building, access the console there, and sell it, and make yourself a bunch of money. So now we're going to run through the entire thing for those of you who do not know where to go or may be brand new. So in the video, I challenged myself with 1,000 credits. I gave myself a 2-hour limit to see how much money I could make doing this method. So follow along, follow closely. It doesn't matter what ship you have to start with. This will work for you. However, if you are somebody who started with a Cutlass Black, then you can actually cut down the amount of credits you need to make at the start to 25,000 instead of 50,000. Without further ado, let's get into it. I started myself off in Arc Corp with my 1,000 credit limit. You're gonna see clips from my stream as well as hard recordings because, well, I fucking forgot to hit the record button when I started. So we start at the apartment, go to the elevator, go to the ground floor. You're gonna take a left or a right, depending on what elevator you came out of, run out and run over to the gun shop you see here. Go inside and buy yourself a pistol. I picked the LH86, 553 credits. So that leaves you with like, what, 447 or something. Then you're gonna go over to these iPads. You're gonna click on Area 18 to make sure it stores there. You're gonna choose a category of personal weapons and then go to attachments. You're gonna scroll down and pick LH86 magazine. You're gonna buy 2 of these and they're gonna go into your local inventory. Sometimes it takes a bit. If it doesn't work, try again. It'll work eventually. Once you've done that, you can hit F1 or F2, then click this little contracts thing down here at the bottom. Looks like a piece of paper with a pen. You can click on General and go down to Mercenary and look for Urgent Boarding Action in Progress. Now, these should be available right away, but sometimes they are not because they are timed. If they are not there, you can wait till later to look at this to see if one pops up, or you can look at these other missions right here through delivery, search, investigation, maintenance, and bounty hunter, as well as more mercenary tasks to make some money. Ultimately, we're aiming for 50,000 credits to start with. However, if you do accept one of these things that requires you to shoot guys like the bounty hunters and the mercenary missions do, make sure you accept the mission A Call to Arms that shows up under the mercenary tab. What that does is it rewards you 500 credits per kill of enemy NPCs. Adds up after a while. Now, we're going to go into our inventory by hitting I, drag and drop our pistol on our hip, and then we're going to drag and drop those mags into the little circles that appear. Other ways to do this are to double click. Now, you can buy a med pad at those iPads as well. They're about 100 credits each. So you don't need one, but you can do it, and you can also equip those. To get those out, you hold C and you select it, and then you use it. After that, we're going to run out to the left and go down this alleyway into the main atrium, take a right, follow all the way to the end, take another right in this building, and follow the right side of that building over to the tram. Get on the tram. If it's not here, you're going to have to wait. There are timers that show up. Ride that tram. It's about a minute long. Hop on out, and then you're going to follow this path all the way over to the iPads. Once you're at the iPads, you're going to access it by holding F and clicking just like everything else. I picked the Avenger Titan to use for this mission because I feel like that's probably the most common ship that people start with, so that's what I went with in this video. Head on over to the elevators after you call it in, and then there you go. There's your ship. We're going to hop on into that. Make sure you get stuck under your ramp because you're a fucking idiot and forgot it expands out. After you do that, get inside your ship, close the ramp, and get ready to take off. Now, if you haven't taken off before, when you get into your seat, you're going to hit the R key on your keyboard to flight ready the ship. It turns everything on and gets ready to go. After that, hold F and hit the menu button on the screen on the top left, or any of the screens really, and you're going to click the comms tab, and you should be able to click the little Wi-Fi symbol, and that'll contact them. This right here on the left is your speed limiter or thrust capability. Basically, it's how fast you can go at your max speed. You use the scroll wheel to increase that. Hold the spacebar to pick yourself up off the ground, hit N to lift your landing gear, and then W to go forward and take off. You can hold shift on the left side of your keyboard to boost yourself so you can get up to the appropriate height faster. And once you see the altimeter on the right here reach about 9,000 to 10,000 meters, you should be good to activate your quantum jumping. You hit B on your keyboard and you will see a bunch of markers appear on your screen. The square ones are indicating that it's a station that you can land at. The triangle ones, or diamond ones I mean, are ones that you can go to that are just kind of points of interest in locations. The circular ones are planets and moons. So we gotta make our way itself over to Walla. Now, if you select this mission, it might take you to a different location. Just be aware of that. Make your way to it. Mine was at Walla. Once I got there, I was able to quantum over to the actual objective. Now, approaching the 890 jump, which is our mission, there are two enemy NPC ships. These are usually Cutlass Blacks. They're not too strong. They're pretty easy to take out. And with an Avenger, Titan Avenger, they should be pretty easy as well. You do not have to kill these guys, but you will get the bonus money for Call to Arms for killing enemy NPCs. Some of those ships do have more than one enemy in them as well, so they can be anywhere between 500 to 1,000 credits each kill. But if you want to skip that, all you got to do is zoom over to the side of the 890 jump and get yourself out. Either way, that's where we're going next. So you get next to the big ship, you get out of your seat, get your pistol ready by hitting 1 on your keyboard, or you can hold it and bring up the weapon wheel and select it that way. Make sure your mobile glass glitches out like that and you turn it off because it's really fucking annoying. Then you walk out and you go into space. You float across space. It's as simple as that. This is actually my favorite mission in the game because I think it's cool as all hell, man. So you get to the side of the ship and open the door and go in. And follow that hallway to the main atrium and go all the way up to the top. You'll see there's a secondary objective called Hold Data Transmission. And one of the most common spawns for this data transmission is to be right there by the helm. But it's not this time. Sadly, I was not able to find it here, but it can be anywhere on the ship, usually up against a wall on a screen. You'll know it when you see it, but it's not that important. It's just an extra 5,000 credits. Now, the second floor, the next one down from where we just were on the helm, there's usually 2 to 3 enemies. Go in there, use your pistol to kill them. The enemy NPCs are pretty stupid, but they can just out of nowhere one-shot you, but it's highly unlikely they will, especially if you're moving around. Once you kill them, unequip your helmet and your flight suit, and then you can either double click or drag and drop the enemy's suit onto you. If you drag and drop the flight suit, it should automatically equip all of the armor as well. Go ahead and look around and pick up one of the guns if you can. It's a little finicky sometimes on this location, but pick it up and it should be good. Try the elevator as well. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. If they don't, follow it down here into the atrium, take a right and another right, and then the side room right here has a ladder to go down to the bottom floor. Then you'll hear a bunch of terrible sound effects because this is where the majority of the enemies are. You really want to focus and make sure you only shoot the guys that have the brown armor and like the horns on their helmets and stuff like that. Those are the enemies. If you shoot a guy with the white armor, you might, or you will, get a crime stat, and that's a whole other problem that we're not going to cover in this video because that's not what this video is about. But once you clear them all out, and whether or not you find the data transmission or not, you'll get your 45,000 credits or 50,000 if you got the data transmission. And you're good to go. That should be enough money. If you combine that with the call to arms money as well as the mission money, you should be over 50,000 credits at this point. So you're just going to run out the way you came, float back over to your ship, and go ahead and get on in. Next, hit F2 once you're in your pilot seat to bring up your star map. You're going to zoom in on Hurston right here on the right side and select it. Hit set route. If it doesn't work, make sure you just click clear out a few times and then go ahead and set it again, and you should be good to go. Head on over to Hurston. It's a long quantum jump, so get up, get some water, take a shit, whatever you got to do until you get to Hurston. Once there, you're going to look around and look for the square symbol. That is Everus Harbor. It is a station around the outside of Hurston. That's where we're aiming right now. So look around, find a way around the planet. I found this comms array right here to the left, so I'm going to go ahead and go to that. Orbital marker right here, OM4. And once you go there, you should be able to see Everus Harbor and quantum over to that location. You'll arrive there. Make sure you request for a landing spot by hitting your little Wi-Fi symbol there, hitting menu, and then the Wi-Fi symbol. But it will glitch out. It won't give you a landing spot sometimes. Just redo it, and eventually it'll pop up and tell you where to land. Make sure your landing gear is down, and you approach slowly. Take your time. It's not that big of a deal if it takes you a little bit longer. Once you land your ship, go ahead and hop out. We're actually not really going to be needing this much more for the rest of this video, but we will have it close by later on just in case we end up dying or having some sort of issue and we need to fly back and get the other ship. So go ahead, get in the elevator, head down to the lobby, and once again, get ready for an elevator. Head over to the iPads and store whatever ship you use to get over here. Then you're going to follow this path down this way, take a left, you'll see the med clinic there, and then on the left, there will be some elevators that we want to go to. Call it in, and then you're going to head all the way up to the top floor, the cargo center. Click that and get ready for it. It's a relatively short elevator ride. Once up there, follow these stairs up here and angle to the left. You'll see the cargo services. Inside there, you'll see a booth that says rentals. You're going to go up there and click on the iPad there. It'll have 3 options. You want to select the Drake Cutlass Black, otherwise known as the Cutty Black, and you want to rent it for 1 day for 27,700 credits. Confirm that rental. If it fails, just do it again. If it's successful, you're good to go. If it fails, takes your money, and doesn't give you the ship, try relogging, and if that doesn't work, you might be out of luck, and you might have to go make some more credits to finish what we're doing here. Luckily, there are missions around this area as well, so you don't have to go all the way back to Area 18 or Arc Corp, but it's just welcomes a Star Citizen if that happens. I do apologize, but that's just the nature of it. Head back over to the elevator and go down to Hangars and Habs. We're now ready to claim our Drake Cutlass Black. It will have to be delivered to the station, so it will take a little bit and a little bit of credits to speed it up. So once you get back to the iPads to call in your ship, find your Cutlass Black. It'll say rented under it with a timer. You're going to click the claim button and then file a claim. Sometimes it doesn't work right away. Just click it a few times, leave, come back. Costs about 3,000 to 4,000 credits to expedite it. And now get ready for the longest 3 minutes of your life. Do whatever you gotta do to entertain yourself. Stare at this guy and why he's got weird gloves on for about 5 minutes. Check the iPad again and realize you still have another 30 seconds. And then go back again and you should be able to claim your Cutlass Black. Retrieve it, head over to the elevators and go to whatever hangar or pad that it gets put on and get ready to take off. There she is, the Cutlass Black. I actually love this ship. I used it a lot renting it for this video, and it made me regret not buying one. It is a very good ship for this, especially for our rock mining. It is so good. It has a bed in it, so you can actually respawn there. If you log out there, you can respawn in those beds if you are up in space or outside of a planet that you want to be at. It has a weapon rack and everything. So it's a fantastic ship. So go ahead and get in your pilot seat, turn everything on with the R key, make sure you hold space to take off, etc., just like before. And once you're off the pad, you're going to hit F2, zoom in, and you're going to select HRU L1, or as I like to call it, HRU1. And you're going to turn around, turn on your quantum, and you're going to head on over there. I believe it's about 1.2 million kilometers away or something like that. It's a little bit of a jump, but it's not too bad. It doesn't take too long. Once you arrive there, you will be quite a ways out of the station. I don't know why it works like this, but it does. There will be another option for you to select in quantum to get you a bit closer to the station. I recommend doing that as well. Once there, make sure you request to land just like before using your screens and the menu button. Once you have your spot, make sure your landing gear is down and fly over to the landing pad. The cool thing about the Cutlass and why it's another reason why it's so good for what we're doing in this video is because it has a VTOL mode. So you can hit K on your keyboard and the engines will turn vertically, so that hitting control to go down and spacebar to go up is not only easier, but it's also way quicker. So do this, make sure your landing gear is down and land on the pad. Also, to change the view to this, all you got to do is hit F4. Once landed, go ahead, hop out, head inside to the elevator, and we're going down to the lobby once again. Once you get to the lobby, head over to the iPad and store your Cutty Black. You do not want it to get impounded, even though it probably wouldn't. But just to be safe, go ahead and store it. Make sure it switches over and doesn't glitch out or anything like that. And while we're here, you might as well go ahead and claim whatever ship that you started with, or your Avenger Titan or your Pisces or whatever you got, and go ahead and do that so it's here. Next, we're going to head over to the med clinic to the right. We're going to click on these pads here and it will assign us a room. Sometimes it flashes at the start and then it'll show up later if you miss it. So we got room 3. Follow the signs overhead to room 3 and you can go in. Now, if you look in the bottom left, this is your hydration and your hunger. It's not something you really have to worry about. It does take a while for it to go down. And by the time we're done with at least one mining trip, we should be able to go ahead and hop into med bay again. So hopping into med bay not only heals you, but it also restores your hydration and fills you up so you're not hungry anymore. Interacting with this iPad here allows you to reset your spawn point to here if you die. And if you don't need to get in the bed, you can also do it at this pad and some by the entrance to the medical clinic. After that, we're going to go out and turn to the right and head down over to these elevators here. And we're going to click on a refinery and get ready for the longest elevator ride of your fucking life. Once down, you're going to run out and take a left and run all the way across the refinery area until you see this 2-story building. Inside here is a shop, and to the left, up against this wall, you'll see the Pembroke armor for 10,330 credits. You're going to go ahead and buy one of those. That leaves us with just a little bit of money left, but enough money to do what we need to do. Now, you don't need the specific helmet or anything like that, just this armor right now. Then you're going to go to the back of the room, click on the Rentals iPad, and you're going to select the Grey Cat Rock, or ROC. Rent it for 1 day. It's only 4,300, and I believe that leaves us with around 4,000 to 5,000 credits left. Not a big deal. If that's successful, then great. If not, try it again. It's Star Citizen. That's just how it fucking works. It sucks, but hey, we live with it. After that, you're gonna run out and you can open up your inventory, equip the Pembroke armor. It does not require a flight suit or anything like that. Just put it on. It'll take everything else off for you. Now we're going to head back to the elevators and go up to the Galleria. Once up at the Galleria, you're going to run under the stairs to the left on the bottom floor and over to the armor store. Select Earl 1 as your storage location, your subcategory armor, and then the other category is going to be helmets. You're going to want to buy this guy right here, heavy armor, and it's rated for 115 degrees Celsius because Aberdeen is really fucking hot. But I choose this helmet because the Pembroke helmet actually blocks part of your vision, and that sucks. This helmet is rated high enough to give you almost an hour of survival time in the atmosphere of Aberdeen without having to worry about running out of time. So that's why I choose this one, because it doesn't block your vision. So now we're going to go back to the iPads, call in our Cutty Black, get in the pilot seat. Once you do that, you're going to hit F2 once again to bring up the star map. We're going to select Aberdeen near Hurston. Sometimes it won't select it and give you the route. If that's the case, you're just going to have to go to Hurston first, and then you can find your way around over to Aberdeen. Once you get to Hurston, you're going to go ahead and hang a left, and there should be an orbital marker, I believe, and it will get you close enough or to an angle where you can actually quantum on over to Aberdeen. Once you've arrived at Aberdeen, you're going to be floating in space looking at this big bright ball of gas. Hit your quantum button a few times until you can see the things appear, and you're going to look for HDMS Nargaard. You can quantum to get close to it about 25 kilometers away, I believe, and then you have to fly in normally. Now, it's hard to see, so to help you see better and see how close to the ground you are, you can hit tab to pop scans. We're going to be using that a lot later as well, but it does highlight the ground so you can actually see, so you know how close to the ground you are. Then we're going to land at HDMS Nargaard at this pad right here. Pop your VTOL mode with K, activate your landing gear with the letter N, so on and so forth. Now when you land, hit the I key to turn off your engines and also F8 to open up all the doors. After that, we run out of the ship and we run over to this blue building right here. And right here is the survival estimate that I was telling you guys about. It's 56 minutes. That's more than enough time. You do not have to worry about it. You're not gonna, unless you get lost away from your ship, you're not gonna have to worry about that. Once you get inside the blue building, activate these iPads and call in your Grey Cat ROC, except forget that you claimed it but forgot to spawn it. So re-access the iPads again, and then you should be able to spawn it. It'll pop up right in front of you. You can actually see it out the window when it spawns in, and then you're gonna run back out and go ahead and get inside of it. It's just like flying a ship. You get in the seat just like normal, except it doesn't fly, it just drives. Another cool thing about it is that you use F4 to change your view. R turns it on just like on your ships, everything about it. And we'll get to the mining mode a little bit later. So F4 to get to this view, and you can drive it around easier. That's what I like to do so I can see my surroundings a lot better. You can hit L to turn on your headlights as well, and you can do that on your ship as well. So if you're mining at night, you can see a lot better. In fact, you'll actually see some footage of that in this video as well. Once you get back to your ship, pull it in the butt. Pull it in slowly, because you don't want to ramp it in there and just jam it in there. That's not good. Then you can switch back to first-person view, get it pretty close to this front wall, but not too close to where you get trapped, and then we're ready to take off. Hop back in your pilot seat, hit the I key to turn your engines back on, hit F8 to close all of your doors, hold spacebar to zoom up, hit K to switch from VTOL mode to regular mode, and bring up your landing gear with the letter N. Now we're ready to start looking for some good rocks to mine with our, well, rock. Now to do that, you're going to fly close to the ground level, not too close, but you know, around 1,000 meters away or so. Sometimes the altimeter breaks and doesn't tell you. Now these right here, these are giant, these are big ass rocks. You do not want those. Those are for ship mining. We do not want to find those. What we're looking for when we fly around, when we scan, we want to look for something that pops up that's about 3,000 meters or less. If something appears further away than 3,000 meters, odds are it is a big rock and we cannot mine it. We're looking for something 3,000 meters or less, like this one right here that popped up at 2,900 meters. So we're gonna go ahead and make our way into that. Approach slowly, but you know, it's not too bad. Keep your thumb on that space bar so you can keep yourself hovering above the ground. As you slowly approach it, you're gonna hit the V key to switch to a scanner. Slowly approach, get as close as you possibly can. You want to be able to fully scan it to where it tells you on the right side what the mineral is. And then, if it's Hadanite, which it is, you're going to want to... Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. Welcome back, guys. Nothing happened. I promise the game didn't crash and I didn't have to redo anything. Here we are, zooming in closely to the... It was definitely nighttime before, I swear. Oh, look at that. It's Hadanite. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now we're going to go ahead, find a nice landing spot. Make sure you're aware of your surroundings while you're landing, because you don't want to land on too much of an incline or on a rock or something, because you need that back ramp to be on the ground so that you can pull the rock back into it easily. Once you land, hit I to turn off your engines, because if it's really windy out, the wind might blow your ship over if you don't turn your engines off. So just be aware of that. We use VTOL mode to land once again. That's K on your keyboard, L for your headlights, etc. Go ahead, hop back into the rock. Do not zoom out like I just did. That's a bad idea. I got lucky. Just ease it out until you're outside. Make sure you run into every little rock you can find. And once you've done that, you can then get close enough to the minerals that you want to mine. And once again, this is Hadanite. This stuff is the most valuable crystal that you can mine with the ROC or hand miner. So as you see here, we hit M to turn on mining mode. That left bar goes up and down with your scroll wheel. That's the amount of power you're giving to the miner. If you right click, it switches to extraction mode, and that's how you pick everything up. But first thing we got to do is fracture these rocks. I like to start by cranking it to 100%, and then you'll see that bar on the right slowly make its way up towards this green area. And then above that, there's a darker area called overcharge. You want to stay out of that as much as possible. Just try not to touch it. So once you get into the green, you can see it lifting and lowering. You want to raise and lower your power accordingly to keep that little line in that green area until the entire green area fills up. If you touch the overcharge a little bit, it's not that big of a deal until you get into Quantanium with ship mining later on. Once a rock breaks, you can switch to extraction mode and suck up all the good fucking gems. It's basically sucking up money, man. It's basically a money vacuum. It's fucking great. Now, the downside is Aberdeen is low gravity, and when you mine something on a low grav planet that's on an incline, most of the stuff falls down the hill. When that's the case, I just grab whatever is right there in front of me that doesn't slide away, and then I mine the rest of the rocks. After I've mined them all, I'll go in, and then I will suck up all of the goodness that is left at the bottom of the hill. Once you do that, you're going to pull right back into the back of your ship. Make sure you take it easy. Go ahead and hop out, and we're ready to take off once again. Yet a quick reminder, make sure your headlights are on if you turn them off. Hit I to turn your engines back on if you turn them off. F8 will close up all of your doors. Spacebar to take off. K turns VTOL mode off. And then N for your landing gear. Once again, just hitting tab to scan. We're just looking for things that are 3,000 meters or under. It looks like we may have found some big rocks once again. You want to avoid those. But what's this over here? Let's go take a look. Turns out it is mineable for us. That's great. Now, a lot of these smaller rocks won't appear until you're within 500 meters. If something appears before you're within 500 meters, like an actual symbol, like a diamond or a rock symbol, that means it's too big. You don't want to get it. So it turns out this is actually Hadanite. So we're going to go ahead and find another landing spot and get the mining. Here's a good example of watching your surroundings. There's a lot of these big dead trees here. You don't want to land on one of those. It's not a good idea. But here we go again, starting with 100% power and just watching that bar fill up all the way up until we get all three. Now, I got really bad RNG during this. And I mean bad RNG. It took me an hour to get 64 centiskew. Now, 64 centiskew is a decent amount. You guys will see how much it is in just 1 hour. 1 hour, 58 minutes it took me to get that, get back and sell it. Half an hour after I did this, I mined for another 25 minutes after recording this, and I got 60 centiskew in 25 minutes. So it's a little RNG based on how quickly you can find stuff, but it can be way more profitable than what I am showing here. This is kind of more of the bad side of it. This is towards the lower bad RNG side versus regular RNG and good RNG. So once you're to a point you want to go and sell, you're going to fly back to HDMS Nargaard where you spawn your vehicle, same spot, but you're going to go to the orange building instead, enter it the same way, and once you're inside, you can see a blue trading console. Now, you can also buy cargo here and go sell it somewhere else, but that's not what we're doing here in this video. You're going to click the sell tab, select your Grey Cat ROC, click on Hadanite. We have 644 units to sell for 177,100 credits. Now, that's not bad for starting 2 hours before this with only 1,000 credits. And then you can go ahead and go on out and continue mining, and you have those rentals for over a day. You do that 10 times, you can actually go and buy yourself a Cutty Black and a Gray Cat Rock so that they do not expire from being rentals. Just 10 times. And you'll have money left over. There you go. A good way to get started that doesn't require rep, a lot of FPS mechanics or anything like that. Just some chill mining on a planet and selling it on the same planet. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it helped you out, please leave a comment in the section down below. If you'd like to suggest any ideas for a video or have questions about the game that, you know, maybe I could help you out. I'm actually also a new player. I've only been playing for about 3 weeks now, but I have invested a lot of time into learning things about this game. I love it so much. I literally I never thought I'd be the type of person to own a flight stick, and I just got it. I didn't have it in this video, but it just came in. I've been using it a little bit. It's something else. Like, I love this game. So if you guys got any suggestions, please leave it in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.